I'll start the topic like this. I made a video on indexing spark plugs. Now, for over 20 years, I've been doing it. And the reason that I had to do it, one, I thought I would pick up horsepower, but really for me, it's an interference fit. My pistons in a Cleveland are so close to the electrode, if you don't index them, in my case, from the 10 to 2 o'clock position, it closes off the electrode. The last engine I had, we mocked it up, put it in there, and the pistons were so close because they're above the deck by over 1,000ths. So we had to take a Dremel or whatever it was, a grinder, grind out a little fire slot, so to speak. And that's how I've been running my engine for, in this case, this engine that's sitting back here, over 13 years. And Bob Beach turned me on to indexing the plugs. A million guys have said, oh, it doesn't make any horsepower, you're wasting your time, you're wasting your energy. Other guys have said, yes, I've seen a 3 horsepower pickup and a pro stock engine. That's why we did it. So I said, you know what, I'll start the whole thing with that question. We'll start with you, Chad. Do you find it beneficial to index spark plugs?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it makes any power, but I know it'll make less power if it closes the plug. So right. why take a chance? I mean, I've done it forever, 10 and 2, you know, and I think it's just habit. I don't think it's a dumb habit. I mean, I know, I'll tell you, I mean, they used to sell, and they probably still do, little like copper washers.
Yeah, Moroso.
You know,
yeah.
B&B used to have them too, that I mean, you could make them dead nuts. I mean, I still do it. I got one plug in that car that's behind the header, and you really ought to take it off.
Yeah.
And I've changed plugs once in it and left that plug in because it was straight up. I wasn't going to mess with it. It was a pain in the butt. But yeah, no, I don't know if it's worth any power, but it's kind of fully. I've seen plugs close, and I know Darin has too.
Me too.
You know, I mean, it'll flat close them. Where is it going to go? You know, if it doesn't have the room and it hits, it's going to close it. You know,
the reasons for which you do it are pretty multifaceted, situation dependent. Are you just indexing it to clear the dome so it won't close up? Or are you indexing it because you have a wet plug and you want to try to get the open section open? And I will tell you that indexing plugs in an open chamber without a dome, I've never seen anything. I mean, you do it because you're trying to clear the dome.
Mm-hmm. I mean, pistons have slots in them. I mean, you see a lot of pistons that got a slot where the plug would go, so it's a big block is really bad about it, you know.
Warren Johnson told me, I told him about that, and he said, you know what your problem is? First, he said you have a Ford. I said, okay. He said the second thing is your piston's not designed right. He said you should never have to go do all that kind of stuff. So either remake your piston or do what you're doing. If it works, it works. But he said that's the bottom line, is you shouldn't have to do that. That's his thoughts anyways.
If you design the chamber just right, you know, most people will take a chamber and just mill it as much as they can right to the seat. But especially in rotated valves, you don't do that.
Right.
Because your valve just sends deeper into the piston and lowers your top ring land. And it's like the Australian Pro Stock heads I just got done with on that Ford. It's 50 deep with a 45 margin and a 45cc combustion chamber.
Wow.
But you have to do that because as the valve comes around, it's just going to, like an SP2, they're the world's worst. I mean, you have to lower the ring so far because everybody mills them down to try to get the chamber small. But there is a point where you start milling that chamber down to where you can achieve a nice flat dome without trying to fill everything in there and achieve a nice open area that burns decent. Okay. And if you go past that, now your valve reliefs are deep. You've got these huge crevices everywhere, and your flame travel starts decreasing. So,
and keeping it tighter is worth power. Piston the valve.
Yeah.
Instead of just going in there and giving it a bunch so you're safe. You know, there's a lot of power there.